Alrighty.
Are we rolling?
Oh, we are rolling.
So it's Jeremy, and my shirt says eats roots and leaves, but sometimes I don't always want to eat root and leaf. I like to sometimes snuggle. Is that right, Isabelle? I better introduce myself. It's Jeremy here from the Isabelle and Jeremy Show. This is my beautiful wife, Isabelle. She's got a big cheesy grin on her face today, which means you are happy, healthy, horny. Hey. What's the topic for today, Isabelle?
I don't know. This is just a test run.
Oh, we could always reinvent the wheel and make it a real run.
Well, no, because I look like shit.
That doesn't matter. We're all about real, honest communication as well as authentic looks on a beautiful Tuesday morning. A little bit cloudy here in beautiful Gold Coast. Bit overcast, bit windy, but we cannot complain. We are happy and healthy and definitely horny. So the topic for today, Isabelle, what have you chosen for our test run?
I haven't chosen a topic. I just wanted to see if it worked.
Well, we might as well give it a real crack since we're on and rolling. Mm-hmm. So I guess what's been the biggest lesson for you from 2020, and then how have you reacted to that lesson and implemented it in 2021?
Biggest lesson from 2020. Do what you want, unless you're hurting other people or yourself. Who gives a fuck?
Brilliant. So tell me a little bit more about that. What have you chosen to do?
Who made you the host, by the way?
I'm Jeremy from the Isabelle and Jeremy Show. I don't have my beautiful sign up here.
No.
It has been...
But you do know that Isabelle is first.
Great. So that's why I'm interviewing you, because the audience wants to hear from you. So tell us a little bit more about that. Don't give a fuck. What do you mean? Give us a little bit of context on that.
Well, people are always going to have opinions about what you do and who you are and everything in general. They're always going to give their opinion on your life, and it's your life, so do what you want. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you feel good. Unless, of course, you're hurting other people or yourself. Just
Great.
to clarify that.
Great. So I guess in 2020 and now we're early in March 2021, what have you been doing that's making you happy but potentially is making other people unhappy? Or there's always going to be judgment, but I guess can you shed a little bit more light on that? Yeah,
well, Obviously we run a very successful OnlyFans business. A lot of people have opinions on that. There's a huge stigma around it, but we're not hurting anyone. In fact, we're making a lot of people very happy.
Happy, healthy, horny. That's why
we're working
we
for ourselves. It gave us the freedom to move up here, to live the lifestyle that we want to lead. People can think what they want, but at the end of the day, we made those decisions purely based on our own... What's the word I'm looking for?
Happiness?
No, it wasn't happiness.
Accord?
Volition.
Oh, we're getting schmancy. First podcast, and
Articulate as fuck.
And she's dropping some bombs. I'm going to have to study the dictionary if I want to be hosting this show.
Who wants a little segment of Jeremy and the dictionary?
Potentially.
Learn your words with Jeremy.
Back to school. So, on top of OnlyFans, I guess now this is a new addition for the Isabelle and Jeremy collaboration of life.
Oh, are we collabing?
Well, it looks like that. We're collabed in life. I got no ring on.
Controversial.
Wow. So what else is the plans for 2021? Obviously, OnlyFans has been established for how long now, Isabelle?
Well, I've been doing it for, 14 months now.
Of those 14 months, how long have you been taking it seriously?
Well, I took it seriously, but it's very hard when you weren't fully committed because you held me back. Big
question. A lot of people ask. There you go. That's a very important note.
Yes. So...
Why do you say I held you back?
Because you were worried about what other people thought. You didn't want people to see it, especially people that you worked with. Being a personal trainer and nutritionist, you were concerned that it would affect your own business negatively. But I guess then when it started to grow, you saw the potential and you're like, you know, la, 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 la. You were like, you know what? This is going to make us money. And honestly, you didn't really care. So I just kind of went for it.
I think the biggest on what you've just said was when the medical allied health clinic that I work with found out. They saw a Twitter.
Well, that was after we'd already started kind of going full force.
Yeah. It was interesting. And for some of the viewers probably listening, maybe watching also, what happened was I was sitting down with my physio, a clinic I work pretty closely with, especially later in 2020, we developed a pretty good relationship. My physio's like, oh, I made a comment about a barbecue. And we did a little skit for Twitter.
Yeah, yes, we did.
And Isabelle...
If you want to see it, jump on over to Twitter.
Yeah, jump on our Twitter. It's there. Pretty much what happened. I'll paint a little bit of a picture for you. Isabelle was sitting down, waiting for dinner to be served. I was cooking a barbecue. And I asked...
Good old snag.
What would you like on your sausage? Then I delivered her sausage, and it wasn't a traditional Aussie beef sausage. It was actually my snag in the piece of bread served for Isabelle with some sauce and mustard. So check that skit out. It was pretty fun. So I guess where we were rolling from that was people were going to find out. They did find out. And it was probably the best thing because I was withholding the business and I guess restricting the potential that was there.
Absolutely.
We had a discussion. I was fully in. Fast forward, we've done some really big collabs and now we're in a really good place in the top 0.1% worldwide, which is brilliant. It's exciting. It's a vehicle really for us, and there's many different ways you can treat OnlyFans, but there's many other things we've got going on. So obviously this podcast is brand new and this has been a massive request from a lot of our audience. What else have we got coming up, Isabelle? What else is happening this year?
Besides the podcast?
Absolutely.
Well, in terms of this business, like
everything.
You and I, or in terms of your business?
Well, I guess my business, touch on that.
Well, obviously you moved to Queensland to start a gym, but that didn't come to fruition. But it's something that you've always wanted to do, you've always talked about. So I guess that may or may not be happening this year.
Ooh.
We'll see.
So
see how things go.
I reckon I should shed a little bit of light on that. I'm a little bit excited. So we sat down with our new accountant. We've had a discussion with him, and now it's looking like we're going to start looking for a warehouse to buy to start a gym. So that's something that we're really starting to delve into now, especially now that we're back grounded here on Gold Coast. We've been jetting around a little bit recently. So that's potentially going to be happening. Still a lot of work to do, so not going to make any promises yet, but stay tuned. The other thing we've been working on is, I guess, pulling myself out of face-to-face personal training. I've been doing it for 8 years or so. Yep. And now my focus is really going to be on making my app better and better. So now that we're grounded, we've just... The camera that's staring us in the face right now that you're looking at us on has been purchased to create better content in a few of our businesses, and in particular my fitness business, so that we can keep providing better footage for you guys to learn from and enjoy.
Let's be honest, the majority of our business these days is content creation. Regardless of the contents of the content, we are content creators. We are.
So that's a little bit about what's going on. Very brief overview. We don't want to bore the shit out of you because there's no real glitz and glam in there for you to really pull apart and to learn from. But it's a little bit of a... Isabelle thought this was a test run, but...
It is a test run.
But
I need
this
to
is
see,
going live.
I need to see if I can synchronize the audio and the visual.
It's going live. So if you see my mouth doing this and nothing actually coming out, audio, then you're just going to have to deal with it on the first one. But what we do plan with this is to have special guests on. We're going to do a few where we do some topics that a lot of people requested, and then we will start bringing guests in once we feel like we've nutted out all of the bolts that have not currently been done up tight enough. What, you don't like that saying? I just came up with it on the spot.
I know you
That's what I do. That's what I do. If you know me well, you'll get a nickname in the first 5 minutes, and then you'll have 35 by the end of the day. So, anything else you want to add to, I guess, close out our first Isabelle and Jeremy show that doesn't currently exist on the wall, but it will.
Yes.
It will.
I want to clarify that this podcast isn't only about OnlyFans.
Very true.
We've been asked about relationship advice, health and fitness advice. I've been asked about fashion and styling advice. So it's kind of going to touch on a lot of different topics.
I'll be touching on that.
Health,
fashion,
fitness, mental health, fashion, business, OnlyFans, whatever, really. Whatever we want to talk about, we're just going to fucking talk about. There's no structure to this podcast.
Correct. And I think that's what's boring. When there's structure, it's boring. We'll talk about topics that you guys want to talk about, especially when it's a trend that we see. But the thing we want to make sure that we preach straight away is when I give health and fitness advice, it's from a professional standpoint. I've been working in the industry for a long time. When we give relationship advice, we are not qualified, but we have a phenomenal relationship, and a lot of people have messaged us and said they look up to us and they want it. So again, we're not psychologists, we're not love educators, we're not sex educators, even though I'm a fucking brilliant root. But you'll know that when Isabelle's giving fashion advice, you've probably seen what she wears. If you like it, take her advice. If you don't like what she does with her fashion sense and her tips and tricks in that area, then...
So, overall, anything we say besides health, fitness and nutrition comes from personal experience, not a professional standpoint. You can talk about health, fitness and nutrition from a professional standpoint, but anything else talked about on this channel is just our opinion.
OnlyFans definitely is from a professional standpoint because we've been in it.
I say that we are not qualified in business. We don't have degrees. So anything that we say is from personal experience. It may work for us and we may give advice on it. It may work for you, but you cannot hold us accountable to professional advice.
I should have told Wifey this. I did an MBA back in 2004 when I was asked.
Is that still valid?
When I was 15, yeah, it's valid.
Is it still valid?
Yeah, I signed a little
Can I
dog.
see it? Can we show the peeps on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you may be listening to this?
I don't have it.
Alrighty. Well, that is it for our trial run.
Have an amazing Tuesday,
Stay
everybody.
happy, stay healthy, and stay horny.
Now, you know what? I just thought about it. We ain't live, so have an amazing week. It's probably better than having an amazing Tuesday, but have an amazing Tuesday when it does come around as well.
This might not be going live on a Tuesday. You never know. Have an amazing day.
And week and year and life.
If you liked this, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn your notifications on so you don't miss out on a episode. That's the word I was looking for.
See you, team.